Hello, this is guitarist Jimmy Haynes, and today all the video is all about chords and getting familiar with the key of G. That little sequence I played right there was just something I've been toying around with for just maybe the last day or so. It's not really a song that I think I heard anywhere. It's something I messed around with and just played melodies to it, but a lot of them are standard jazz, I think, chords. And this video here is all about getting you used to and familiar with your guitar neck and different positions for these chords. So let's get right away into the lesson here. And I want to talk about these different chord shapes. The first one here I'm starting off with is a G major 6. That's what it sounds like. And I'm going to go through these chords and tell you exactly how they're built by the intervals. Here's the next one. It's an A flat 6 flat 5, A minor 7, D7, C major 7, that's actually got a ninth in it, B minor 7, E minor 7 9, A minor 7th, back to D7, and I ended with actually a G major 7. Now, once we go through this lesson, you can take these chords and move right up the neck with them into different positions and play out different keys with them. That's what's nice about all these chords. They're closed chords. There's no open notes in them. They can be moved around the neck into different positions to play in any key you choose. So let's start right there with that G major 6. Quite different from the standard G chord that you see me normally play. And the way these chords are built is out of the scales, the degrees of them. And I'm going to do a separate lesson on that, on just how to build them. But right for now, I'm going to just talk about the degree of the intervals in these particular chords. Right there on the top, in our low bass, is the G root. And next note is you got an E, you got a B, and a D. Okay, that is making the D, and is a 5th, so that's out of a standard triad for G. B as well as major in the key of G. So the only thing I added extra was this E note here, which made it a G major 6. That's all I did. A standard G. Add the 6, and we'll play it in a different position. So there is the key root chord in this progression. Moving on, what I consider or refer to as a passing chord, which needs to resolve to A minor. But if we look at this chord, we have an A flat note. It's right there on the 4th. And then we're adding this F, alright, which is, if I look at my A flat, 6th, alright. You play the chord again. See what else I got in there. We got a B note and an A flat. What is that? That's a minor. So we got an A flat minor 6, and then last, this D note that I'm catching with my first finger. You see me barring everything here. I'm actually on the right hand only playing the F note, which is the 6, and the D note, which is a flat 5. Okay. There's a passing chord I use that brings you into A minor 7. That's a common jazz chord. These are all common jazz chords, but that one there I see a lot. I think I've taught this on another video already. Third finger, barring from the 4th string down. Come up here to the top with your 2nd. I suppose you can play the 1st fret, or 1st finger on all of that. This is the way I normally see it anyway, most jazz players. A minor 7th. That carries the minor C in it, right there. Because mind you, we're playing everything on this fret except for the D note on that string. I'm not even playing that note there with my pick. I'm skipping over it. So we got an A, which is the root. We got a G. If you look at that makes the dominant 7th. If I do the there's the 7, major 7, dominant 7, and you can see I'm pulling all these chords, intervals, right out of these scales. There's dominant 7th. Okay, we just talked about the C, which is 6. Okay, actually the major is C sharp, but we flat that 3rd right there, and that makes a minor. We got an E note in there. That's just a 5th. That's a 5th of A. Right there it is. A minor 7. Moving on to D 7th. It's a common shape. If I strip some of these fingers away, you see that I'm playing from the 3rd down. I'm adding this F sharp note. And then I'm adding the root, D. F sharp in relation to D. 3rd, standard 3rd, so it makes it a major chord. Okay, there's your C note. What is that in relation? 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you right now, if you just go down a whole step from D, there's your flat 7, dominant 7th. Alright, people get this confused. Majors, 7ths, and dominant 7ths. Alright, they're one interval apart. If I play a standard G scale, there's the 7th note, that's major 7. Flatten it is your flatted 7th or dominant 7th. That's what makes up your G 7th chords, any dominant 7th chord. So there we have the D7. We also have an E in there, don't we? And an A. So let's look at the E in relation to D. 1, 2, be a 2nd, wouldn't it? Or is it a 2nd? You ever hear of a D 7th 2nd? No. You do hear of D dominant 7th 9th. It is a 9th. If you take the standard D scale, let's start it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? It's a same thing as the second. Same note. But down here on this higher octave, this is what we consider the ninth. That's what you hear in that chord, a D7, 9. A at the bottom, that's just a fifth of a D. Very important that you learn your triads. And I think I'll shoot a video of that here next. We'll talk about triads of basic chords. Matter of fact, I think I mentioned them in a previous video that we done maybe last week or so on a few of them triads. A triad consists of 1, 3, 5 intervals of your scale, and that makes up a major chord. Then when you start adding other intervals of that scale to your chord, then you start changing the color of the chord, whether you're making it a minor, major, a 6, a 5, a flat 5, a 9, 11, 13, and they go on. And you know, there's a lot of them, but technically on the guitar we can't play a true 9th, 11th, 13th chords. We don't have enough fingers for it. Piano players, however, they have access to all that with the keys laid out flat, and they got 10 fingers to use to make up different chords. However, we're only using 4 at best. Occasionally you'll see me use my thumb, a 5th finger, but we'll talk about them other chords later. For now, these are the standard jazz chords that any musician should know, whether you're playing folk, bluegrass, which I like to play. I do use these occasionally, and especially for jazz. And there's more in-depth instructional on these chords that can be found in various instructional books. Let's move on. We just a short recap. G, major 6, A flat minor. I did that wrong, didn't I? Let's drop that again. There it is. A flat minor, 6 flat 5. A minor 7 to a D7, 9. C major 7, 9 is the next. Look at this chord and break this one down. Right here's the root C coming in as a G note. Okay, G is a 5th of C. That's all it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5th. That's part of the triad. Okay, nothing too special about that. Here's the, that's a strange sound for C, isn't it? Okay, that's a B note. Look at your C. Right below it is a major 7. If you ever want to find out where your major 7th or dominant 7th is, look at your root note. Flat 1 is your major. Flat again is your dominant. Okay, so we're back to your C, G, B for major 7. Sorry about that. There's your E. What is that? 1, 2, just a third. C major 7. This is a G note here I'm playing. Another 5th. If I called this chord a C major 7, 9, I was incorrect. It's just a C major 7. What is a 9 for C? Oh, did I? Okay, we're back to that again. Another take correction. It is a C major 7, 9. If I look at the C, 1, D being 2, E being 3, or 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 and 3 are the same note. But when you play that higher octave in that chord, it makes it a 9th. Okay. Moving on to B minor 7. Same as this. Who's down here, Nate? We just moved up 2 frets. Okay, same chord. To an E minor 7, 9. Here's our E note. There is a G. What is relation to G for the E? Let's take our E. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And we were looking for, okay, 1, 2, 3, flat 3, makes it minor. Alright, let's move on to our D note in relation to E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that D sharp was 7. We flatted that, made it a dominant 7th. Alright, moving on. There's our F sharp. What is in relation to the key of E? There it is. Look at it this way. 8, 9. So there's another 9. D minor, sorry, E. There's the root. E minor 7, 9. Okay, back to A minor 7. D. We already done these chords. Back to your, let's use G major 6 for now. Okay, I see right now that I'm going to have to do a video on how to build chords. Some of you advanced players will catch this because you're familiar with some of these intervals and the chords. Let's look at a couple substitutions and then we'll move on from there. You may have heard me playing, I'll play this progression one more time, and there's a couple substitutions I want to point out. Here it is. Alright, let's talk about this substitution. Before I was playing an A minor 7 to a D7, 9. Now let's look at the that A minor 7th again, and let's look at this substitution. It works just as well. You notice the only thing we did different on that chord. Here's the original. Okay. That E note right there is now flatted to this D note, which is an 11th. A minor 7, 11. To a standard D7, no 9 in it. Remember, the 9 was here. Now we're back to just another root or another octave of D. So that substitution could be played in this B minor 7th part to a A minor 7, 11 to D7. You also have the option of substituting it up here as well, because like I said, all these chords are movable. So we have D minor 7 or B minor 7, 11 to this E minor 7. And then I end on a G major 7, 9. Did I say 9? Or is it? Well, let's look at it. G. Alright, there's F sharp. There's your major 7. C. I'm sorry, that's a B note, isn't it? Major 3rd. That's all. There's your D. It's a 5th. G major 7. What would it have to be a 9th? They have to have an A note in it, but not a low A note, a higher octave. We're not playing an A note in that. I could switch this chord around and possibly play an A note. Right there to give you a 9th. Alright, one more time through this progression. And the intent of this video is to get you familiar with these chords and how to move them up the neck to different keys. We'll do another video talking about how we break down chords to make these triads and these different intervals. Okay? Here again. G. Again. Here's my substitution. Alright, let's look at something a little different now, into a different key, however. Here we started in G with this 3rd. So let's take everything up a whole step. And what do we have a whole step above G? A, of course. So let's take this same series of chords and now move them up a whole step. A, major 6. There's your B flat, minor 6, flat 5 I called it, to B minor. E, D major 7, 9. Okay, and then C sharp minor 7. Here's your F sharp minor, B minor, D. I'm sorry, going to E. So I took those same chords and moved them up, every one of them a whole step, and played that same series. You can do this with every key on the guitar, okay? I started in G. If you want to, you can start down here on the 2nd fret and play the same. There's a G flat. Alright, there's G flat major 7. All these chords are movable. Before I jumped up to A, we can jump up to B flat and play it out of that position. Okay, and this goes on and on. So if you take those same chords I showed you, 5 or 6 chords there, and play in every position, all up and down this neck, starting with your root on that top there. Can we do it down here? Sure you can. You can actually get rid of this first finger there and play that same thing. Alright, if you take that root, there's F, F sharp, G major, okay, A flat. flat, A, B flat, B, C. So now I'm going to play out of the key of C. This goes on and on. D flat, D, E flat, E. Naturally, you're probably not going to play that far up the neck with these chords before we find the alternate chords shapes down here again. Okay, so that's the lesson today. You got a few chords there, you got a chord progression, and you can see on this your guitar neck that you can move that same progression just about 12 times in 12 different keys by using those same chords. They're standard jazz chords that all musicians, all guitarists should know. So let's do another video next on maybe breaking down each individual chords and how we build the chords out of the triads and the different intervals. Alright, that's all for today, and thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate all the feedback we've had so far. It's been great. Thank you again. Jimmy Haynes for now. We'll talk to you later. Bye.